Hello, my name is Zhatelier. Welcome back for another episode of EU4 as Palembang. In previous episode we got our truces finally, or peace deals finally, so we did manage to get a bit more land, as well as we're getting some war reparations right now from Ayutthaya, which is a pretty decent amount actually, almost 12 ducats. So right now that's mostly what is keeping our economy afloat. We do have, actually, we got this pine out in Portugal still, which we probably don't need. But no, I can't really claim anything in here, can I? I need to have a neighboring province. And I don't really, other than claiming land on the mainland Africa, there might be a few islands that they still have. They lost their holdings in Philippines. But they do have still Palau. We've got a claim on that already. There is also Nauru, but we can't claim that one. We don't have anything neighboring it. So at this point, let's actually have a look at the options through here. I mean, there is, of course, this land of merchants. Could do that one. You know what? Sure. They'll be losing a bit of their global trade power, which means that our privateers, especially in Zanzibar, can do more. Because Zanzibar is one of the most effective raiding targets, or privateering targets for us right now. And actually, that's something that we probably need to expand even further. Right now, we've got 15 ships there. Now, of course, right now, we don't have a whole lot of room for extra ships. We are actually a bit over our limit. Admittedly, some of that is probably just a whole lot of various transport ships scattered around, which we could probably just combine. Also, speaking of transport ships, let's go and get the army from here, the primary army, into Papua, because I do notice that there is fairly decent potential for two different revolts in there. Also, where's the... Right, here's the marine army. Do we have... oh, right, there's another marine army there. So, do we have another transport fleet somewhere? Also, I suppose we can get these ships back from here. So our main fleet is starting to get fairly sizable, I would say. Ooh. And we've got quite a few other ships over here. I suppose, no, we can't break those out yet. There's a couple oh, right, yeah, we've got 5 units in here. Guess we'll get these back to Palau. We can then potentially use these for other stuff. Where do we have another transport fleet? Ah, all the way down here. Well, first of all, we can probably do a bit of raiding in here. Let's also go ahead and raid the other side of Pasai. There we go, so that's a bit of money. We'll go ahead and take these marines into New Zealand finally, so we can they'll deal with the wars there. And of course, we do have our privateer fleet over here, which can get a bit more money from Bengal. Because we've currently got 2 fairly sizable loans that I would like to get rid of. So we'll go ahead and focus down these areas real quick. There we go, that's at least a decent amount of money from those areas. There's still, of course, some other areas that we could be raiding. There's not too many currently that we need to worry about. Right, and we've got a couple of these light ships over here, which actually, first of all, go and upgrade these. It's not going to be too expensive. And then we'll send these to Zanzibar, because, again, it's very good money from there. Ooh, and we could get a quality idea. On the other hand, we could just save up for the Miltech, although it's a bit expensive right now. Because getting the cavalry combat ability could be somewhat handy. The next one would be the ship durability. And we haven't embraced the manufactories yet. It is spreading, but it's spreading very slowly. It still costs nearly 3,000 ducats, which we can't really afford right now. But yeah, it will be spreading into some more areas, hopefully in the not too distant future. Because we are building some more manufactories as well, so I'm sure that that will speed things up a little bit further. But I suppose, yeah, we did get a couple provinces from Langfang that do already have it, plus some of these provinces from Lu. Where do you? Yeah, I think we're just going to go and get the cavalry combat ability. The extra taxes from the Miltech would be nice, but the extra cost for the tech right now, I'd rather put that into the ideas currently. The sooner we can get the +5 discipline, the better. Of course, also some of the other bonuses for the Navy is not bad either. Let's go ahead and get our troops into Papua. I think we're just going to park them down here somewhere. Kind of middle point there, and we'll do a bit of rebel suppression. And then I suppose we can load up this army, take these troops into New Zealand to get some more areas for our vassal over here. So we can unite the areas of... Oh, right, there we go. We've got one of the cores done on Papua. Right, so our vassal is still pretty high liberty desire. We could, technically speaking, placate the local rulers by using 20 prestige for -10 on that. So it's slowly, because we did convert them, so that's why they are a bit upset right now. But the core... Well, the cores are getting set up quite nicely here, so that's good. We're getting a workshop there fairly shortly, at least. There we go, the reinforcements, all the troops have arrived. Oh, and there's a revolt. Oh, we've got troops heading right there, actually. So that should be alright. Let's go and do the rebel suppression with this army. Make sure that all of Papua is maintained in a somewhat peaceful situation there. So now we're getting 16 ducats. Do we have... well, first of all, we've got this massive fleet now. We've got 22 heavies. We've got 3 more transports in here. Let's just get these into... Oh, right, we did get these islands. Yeah, so we'll get the ships over there so we can actually transport this army around. Got so many marines moving about. Now, these ships are not repaired yet, but they will hopefully soon be. There's already 46%. Oh, there we go, 61%. Stability increase. Oh, perfect. Plus 1 stability. That is much deserved. Well, not actually deserved, but much needed. Okay, so with the 15,000 men, do we have another... I suppose we could bring in the general down here briefly. So you are... Well, first of all, you only got 7,000 men. You've got a decent build tech, though. But there you are allied to Tonga. That shouldn't be too difficult, though. We'll go and deal with this war while we're not at war with anyone else. We'll give the control of that to Waisaha once the siege is done. That should be an easy stack wipe. Oh, that's another core, and yes, it was a stack wipe. Oh, we don't have enough troops in here. We need 22. Oh. Ooh. Right. God, there's a bit of a fleet battle there. I suppose we could go ahead and bring in some of these marines from here. As well as the marines from here, now that I think of it. Move those around, and then let's grab these. Bring in some reinforcement for the siege. Hey, the Grand Captain is strict, so we get plus 5% discipline. Excellent. So we can't even do the naval barrage in here. Oh, we did 5. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take the big fleet. Take the heavy ships out of it. And bring that one in here. Should be able to sail there fairly quick. With the flagship. And then, of course, we can do the naval barrage on that. Might not do enough, but it's at least a start. Ooh, 7 navies. Naval supplies price goes up by 50%. Oh, perfect. Glass price goes up and livestock price goes up. Okay. Well, we do produce a decent bit of naval supplies. Not... Oh, bollocks. Well, we got the troops in here, which we can probably utilize. At this point, though, I guess... We're going to hire another general, actually. 6121. I mean, that's not too bad. Go ahead and get these troops onto the island. We could probably get there before the siege is done. Oh, we actually got enough money to pay off one of the loans. Sure, let's do that. It's going to give us a bit better income. And then hopefully the reinforcements... Hey, there we go. There's 5,000. That's not going to be quite enough yet. We got, of course, have the other army over here that we can still transport over. That's going to give us a bit more cannons as well, actually. And then there's, of course, another revolt that will probably happen soon enough. But once those revolts are done, we could actually take some time for the army to start drilling. Because our discipline is, or the professionalism is still very low. Because we were kind of more poised to have mercenaries, but we then never actually went for it. Well, never mind. Let's go and deal with that revolt then. Hey, we did get another core done. Excellent. So how much are we making money at this point? We are making a 22 ducats. Also, is the 6 ships over here are now done, so let's go and do some privateering. I think, well, there's a couple options. I think Zanzibar is still probably going to be the most profitable, most likely. I mean, Siam's not too bad either, to be fair. The Lucas would be potentially profitable. I think we're going to go with to... Wait, did I? Hold on a minute. Make sure that that's privateering. Yeah, so Zanzibar, I'm sure that that's going to get us to 21 ships there, which probably means even more money. We're already making almost 30 ducats from privateering. Well, not all of it is from privateering, but most of it is. So that's going to go up even higher. Now, did we get more troops down here to New Zealand? We did. Right, so that should be enough to start the siege. Oh, and there we go. That's the revolt there with. So there's not going to be a revolt anytime soon. We can start drilling the army. So we can get that a little bit more powerful. How much? Okay, so we'll have 6 units of artillery in here. Oh, support independence of Waisaha. You know what? How bad is that from Spain's support? Ah, that's almost 200%. One thing that we could do is we could start currying favors with them to increase the trust between us. Of course, once we give them a bit of land, they'll probably be a bit more likely to join. Of course, if Spain really wants to do a war, I might be able to turn the Vaitaha into a tributary in that peace deal then. Maybe. Oh, we could get Diplotech. You know what? Oh, that's the better galleys. You know what? Yeah, I think we'll do that. And we'll even be ahead of time for a little bit. Right. Let's actually go out and do the naval barrage from here. So that's my... Oh, there we go. 0% chance of winning the siege yet, but it's at least 0. So soon it will get better. Right, so these are doing... Oh, I suppose we can do a quick little raid over there. Cheeky little thing. As soon as they're still up fighting... Yeah, they're still fighting Lu, Bandra, and Barao. And they haven't been able to get to the war goal, hence the low war score for them. Yeah, so if we need to fight Spain, we can get some more islands from them, hopefully. Potentially even stuff in the Philippines. Although, actually, speaking of Philippines, we'll go ahead and separate a couple ships from here. Get like 20 galleys. And we'll move them into Cebu. So we can protect the crossing points in here, so our marines can, you know... Oh, well, never mind. Ah, Colonise Australia. Alright, we'll stop drilling. So what do they actually want? They want Cebu. I'm not surprised. But they won't have it. Luckily, we did kind of foresee that. I guess what we'll do with the big fleet over here, let's give the hunt enemy fleets order in South China Sea for the time being. We could still go for... Oh, Mutapa sieged down all of Portuguese lands over here. So Portugal's not doing that great in the war against Kilwan. Not yet, anyway. They've been fighting in there for a while, so... Spain. Well, so be it. So be it. Wait for a little bit with this army. We'll go ahead and start sieging down Timor. And of course, we'll be winning this siege hopefully soon enough. That means that we can then go after Tonga. And also start sieging down some of the... Actually, I suppose they're not... No, they're no longer supporting the independence. So actually, Waitaha... yeah, it's below 100 now, at least. We'll start improving the situation there a little bit. We'll also get rid of the spy network in Portugal. We'll start building the spy network in Spain instead. Once the other spy is free, we can then start doing some peace deals down here, potentially. That actually reminds me, so the 20 galleys down here... Oh, actually, let's just march out. They'll sally out, so there we go, they can't do anything. And we can raid the coastline over here, I suppose. So there we go, the Marines are safe. Unfortunately, they control most of this area, so they can go through the crossings unless we can do a landing somewhere sneakily and siege it down before they can get there. Like over here might be a possibility. You know what? Yeah, we'll do it. We might have some other troops nearby, but if we can quickly kind of leave a siege here and go for that one as well, we can quickly seize them before they can go around, I hope. Now, how is the siege going on? I mean, it is going on. It's 14% already. We'll probably win that soon enough. Right, and let's get these troops in to start sieging down Timor. So they think they can win me. Because on paper, they are stronger. Although I don't think they have... They got more heavy ships than I do, but of course I got so much more galleys that it kind of negates the effectiveness of their stuff quite nicely. I'm taking quite a bit of attrition right now, which is to be expected. Right, I suppose once we get the ships in here, I suppose the transports are going to take a little while to go around. Right, and the siege is still at 14%. Hey, there we go, for Sambas, excellent. Still need to... Yeah, we're actually getting 23 ducats per... Oh, wow, yeah, Spoils of War starting to get pretty high. Zanzibar is giving us 16 ducats per month. Malacca is almost another 9 ducats. So that ain't too bad. We are getting these island siege down here, by the looks of it. Which is kind of an interesting situation. There we go. So they can't... Oh, actually, they might still be able to get through here. If they got military access through Russia. Which they don't, at least not yet. Because we're going to eventually just get a couple ships parked in there as well. Although, actually, let me double check. Yeah, they are... And Caraga is through the Mindanao coast. Good to know. I wonder if I got any other spare fleets. Actually, oh right, yeah, we got some other heavy ships over here. Oh right, actually. Okay, let's just wait until it's no longer moving, and we'll go ahead and take these fleets out of here. And we'll go ahead and park this into the Mindanao coast, which is still inland sea, so that's still plus 100 for the 2 galleys in there, which admittedly isn't a whole lot. 2 galleys, that is, but, you know, it's still better than nothing. And let's go ahead and start sieging down Timor. We've also got these boats over here that can also do a bit more raiding, maybe. There we go. So we've sieged down Samara, so we've got both of these now available. Question is, what are we going to do next? Like, where are we going to try to siege down next, rather? We got a level 6 fort over there, so we can't... Actually, there's no crossing points over here into Mindoro. So we might be able to cross into here. Although that's going to be across the Philippine Trench, is it? No, it's through here, so we can actually cross there easily. I have a small fleet over here plucking that in a moment. Ooh. Right, and we've got another core, excellent. So we can start at least sieging down some of the provinces in here to cause some more issues for our enemy. In the meantime, oh right, colonies, 800 colonies already. So the siege in New Zealand is closing its end, hopefully. 35% now. Oh right, oh there's peasant rolls over there, alright then. Well, that's not really my problem. Are we... No, we're not quite ready to pay off the loan. Once we can, that's going to save us another 1.5 ducats per month, which would be quite handy. And then we're going to start upgrading more of the fleets, hopefully. Little by little, at least the galleys on the fleets. Not nearly every fleet, but at least some of them. Ooh, expensive edict. Oh, right, so the institution has spread over here already. I guess we can take that off the... We'll take the edict away. That's going to give us a bit more money. And actually, how much would it still cost us? It's still 2,900 ducats. So not quite there yet. In affordability. Yeah, still taking a while. Are we actually... Oh, right, we should actually put the institution spread up here. Probably should have done that ages ago. We had the one in top end, and that's still spreading. It's not really spreading into our capital, is it? Well, a little bit. Well, not capital directly, but it's spreading up there a little bit. So we'll give it another boost. That's going to be costing us another 0.3 ducats, so it's not a huge amount. Not ideal, nonetheless, but it's not a huge amount. There we go. That's another province siege down. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so yeah, we still can't go through Russia. That's fine. We won't have enough troops to siege down Tondo anytime soon. Not until we're done with the war in New Zealand, I reckon. Assuming that they don't bring more troops here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get back to Samar. Into some safe territories in there. And then, how's the siege over here? Is 35%. We should be able to do that hopefully soon. Hey, there we go. East Timor is done. Let's go and clear out West Timor. Hey, there we go. The siege is finally done. It's going to be a quick naval battle. There we are. We actually capture another transport. So what we'll probably do... I mean, we could raid coast. You know what? Sure. Get a little bit of money out of it. So we'll go ahead and get the... Probably 2 of these armies. Combine those. We could do the landing into Tonga, which they've got like 6,000 men now. But 20,000... It's not going to be very quick landing with the artillery in tow. It's still going to be better than nothing. And we'll get to the Samoa Islands, start sieging down that. And then we'll go ahead and bring one of these fleets in here. I suppose the other fleet could head back north. Or possibly to help around in Cebu. So we maybe land into like some of the other islands in here. Possibly. Actually going for Tahiti would be quite nice because that's a long enough distance that they would have to go further and further away. And then we could maybe try to do a landing. If they try to move the troops into Mindoro, we'd then go ahead and do another landing into Zamboanga. So at that point they'd be stuck on these 3 islands in here. Without any way to exit, really, as long as we keep all the crossing points located. Right, so let's pay off that loan. There we go. Now we're making 21 ducats per month. Not too bad. West Timor will be sieged down hopefully soon, and then we'll probably go ahead and do a landing into Sumba, and then also Jamdena. But slowly but surely, we are taking control over pretty much all of this. Let's go ahead and actually. We could get these troops to start landing on some of the Spanish islands over here, like Vanuatu and the Solomon Islands. And then there's, of course, Rabaul and all that. So if we can get a whole lot of the islands in here, we won't get a whole lot of war score until, you know, they eventually just decide that, you know, this war is not really worth it. Oh, native uprising. Well, luckily we did have some troops guarding that. So this should be, yeah, we lost one man in there. Oh, no. Oh, unconditional surrender. Actually, before I give control of that, let's go ahead and switch the controller of this to Waitaha. That goes to Waitaha. I can't take Tongo, but I suppose I could just take the money. Still better than nothing. That's going to keep our vassal a little bit less upset, I guess. Do a quick little raid over here. I suppose we can then send this off to elsewhere. Potentially actually down here. We've got the capital ships, of course, which are not really needed right now in there. I guess we could bring them into Manila Bay. Because that is actually where we need to have troops to blockade Tondo anyway. To get that false siege down easier. Now, of course, how much do we actually need for that? I suppose this is just 6,000, so it would be 18,000 men. So actually the bigger army that we have could potentially siege it down. Potentially. So Waitaha's Liberty Society is now 83%. Which is still not great, of course. Once the enforced religion has gone down, then it should be pretty close to 0. But that might take a while. There we go, at least we clear out a little bit. They even got a nice fort out of it. Right, and yeah, the siege of East Timor is nearly, or West Timor rather, is nearly done. Go and get these troops out of here. They'll land into Sumba, although actually this army probably shouldn't be doing the landings a whole lot. I'm gonna bring this one out here to start sieging down Tondo. Because we've got the artillery, a decent bit of artillery on that. So with the help of the big fleet arriving, or the capital ships arriving here to blockade that port with the flagship, that should be fairly effective siege method. So we'll get that at least sorted out. And now we're making a... yeah, almost 30 ducats, actually. It's actually pretty good. Also, war operation is pretty high, but spoils of war is pretty high. Oh, there we go. The reinforcements have arrived. Alright, let's get sieging. I guess we could also... is there any... there's no port on this side. Ah, never mind. Okay, well, I suppose what we could do... oh, they have gone to the south. Okay. That's rather handy. Is this a connection... Kuya Archipelago? Okay, so if we get a fleet there... are they actually going through Russia now? Or trying to? No, they're not. Not yet, at least. Our reinforcements are arriving. I guess what we'll actually do... is we'll land into Mindoro first. Because they're moving to the other side here. We might be able to get to Cebu and siege down Negros. Oh. Okay, here's the fleet. 15 heavies, 21 light ships. They did capture quite a few of ours. Oh, we can still do a raid even while retreating. Ah, okay, well, that's fine. That's gonna go under repair. We did lose most of our fleet, though. The 15 heavies, they don't have any transport fleet there. But that's the first stage of the attack, I guess. Because we are 22 heavies, or the 70 galleys, that's also a possibility. We should be able to do quite a bit. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and send in a couple of these galleys to be finally getting their upgrades. Won't take too long. Over here we'll be sieging down a bit of stuff, hopefully, very successfully. So if they got the troops in there, can I might try to siege down the island here. But yeah, so they had the fleet in here somewhere. Oh, right, it's going to Tigres Bay. So it's probably just going to go around and sail all the way to some of the colonies in here, which does mean that the galley fleet will probably engage it at some point. It might take a while, mind you. But I suspect that we'll probably catch that eventually. If not, then we'll use the heavy fleet over here, which actually probably should get a leader. Oh, yeah, let's do a bit of raid here. Start the siege of the fort in Tondo. Promising trader. Ooh, actually. Why is our current... we've got the spy network construction, which can be handy. I'm probably going to go with the trader, actually, at this point. Although, hold on a minute. Trade is still only 8 ducats, so even getting a bit of boost there, it's not really that great. on the other hand, getting a somewhat cheap level 2 advisor is not a bad idea. I think we can afford it, yeah, we'll go with it. That's going to give us a bit more points to use for developing. Right, let's get the naval barrage done, so that's minus 21% from the get-go, but I suppose, yeah, we get +3 from the blockade. And we do get +1 from the leader, and then of course +1 from the artillery. We'd have to have 8 artillery pieces to get the level 2 though. But yeah, so we'll be doing a bit more sieging down here. Oh, and the enemy is now moving further north. Oh, never mind, they're not. So you're still moving north. Yeah, you'll be arriving there in a few days. Kilwa is embargoing me. Oh no. Are they, No, they're still fighting Portugal, but Portugal started to de-siege a lot of these areas now. So I think they will be losing that war sooner or later, and Bengal's starting to be bloody massive. Now, luckily Bengal does have quite a few of rivals. They got Vijayanagar, Ayutthaya, and Mughals. All three are, well, Vijayanagar not as strong, but Ayutthaya is pretty strong, and Mughals are very strong. So, at least they might not really be interested in fighting me. Not yet, at least. Well, I suppose we can actually get the galleys back in here now that they are already upgrading. They will still repair, although not necessarily as quickly, but they'll still repair. Oh, they're only going to be arriving at the bay at January. Also, there's a whole lot of Portuguese ships here. Oh, Congo will cede provinces. Okay. Right, so Portugal is no longer at war with Congo, and they took a bit more land in here. I think mostly over there. Alright then. There we go, our troops have arrived. And the Spanish units over here don't really know what to do. There we go, another conversion done. Oh, and right now we're not making a whole lot of money. Oh, because the war operation... No, the war operation hasn't ended, but of course we're not getting the money from Zanzibar right now. That's what's happening. Because we're repairing. And that fleet, I think it's just going to be sailing... Oh. Okay, there's another fleet. There's another 20 heavies, actually. Alright then, alright then. I may need to... Oh, well, first of all, we'll rate the Russian ports there. I may need to get this one kind of sitting around here for a little while. There we go, siege down on the province. We can then go to Zhatelier with those troops, and potentially even get these to help with some of the sieges later, although it's already 0%, well, 14% now, Tondo. So we'll be able to get this siege down soon enough. So if we can siege down all of Philippines, that would be quite a blow for the Spanish for sure. Also, that reminds me, we've got the Marines sitting down here in boats. Luckily, they don't take a whole lot of attrition on the siege, so that should be fine still. And how's the colony looking like? It's 869, nice. So that will be done soon enough. Then we can start colonize the last province there, and then after that we'll probably start just developing some existing provinces. Because I doubt there's going to be a whole lot of colonies still available at this stage. I think pretty much everything that can be colonized has been colonized. Except some, you know, areas that we can't reach. Like in Africa. There's some provinces in the inland, but that's about it. There might be a little bit in, like, North America as well, maybe. But even those are probably going to be running a bit low at this point. You know what, I'm actually going to go out and bring in these troops. Oh, okay, you'd have to use the transport. So, you know, we'll go around the other way then. Start helping sieging down the rest of Luzon once we have sieged down the fort there. How's the... Oh, still in 2,900. Well, I suppose it hasn't still spread too much in Australia. That's the biggest problem that we have with the manufactories. It is at least in whole Hawaii. But it hasn't gone into Bourbon or Mauritius or Comoros because Kilma kind of hates us for some reason. I don't know why. It's definitely... Oh, hello. There's the fleet. Is that moving into... Yes, that's moving to Treasure of Johor. Okay, never mind. We'll actually let him lock in... Oh. No, they're going back to Andaman Sea. Alright, then we'll go ahead and chase them back to Strait of Malacca at least. Yeah, they're going to Irrawaddy Delta. They're running away. There we go, we siege down Vanuatu. Let's go ahead and grab the Marines again. Get to Solomon Islands. And after that we can get to Rabaul. And then I suppose there's a couple other islands over here that we can still jump through. Ooh, election. Now, how good is our ruler? Already pretty high level. He's only 51 years old. Good traits there. idea cost, and discipline. So I think we're going to keep him. That's going to allow us to get to 644, so even more points for admin, not admin, but military and diplomacy. I'll start moving this one through. Colonial Ventures. You know, I will say the Diplotech cost minus 10%. How close are we? No, we're not close to the next level yet. That's alright. It's going to be quite expensive. Well, it's only 30% for the not imported manufacturers yet. But yeah, that is something that will hopefully start getting a bit more present in more areas sooner rather than later. Of course, we'll probably build some more manufacturers in due time, so I'm sure that that's going to help. Actually, we've got a manufacturer in here. I'll give that a bit more development. Yeah, so that should give us the spread a little bit faster. Plus, also, it gives us another build slot there. Which, oh, that could actually be a workshop. I don't know how much that's going to give us. Oh, yeah, that's actually not bad. 146, I'll take it. Right, oh, okay. It looks like our fleet got caught out in there. Can we get there in time to engage with that fleet before they get away? We did. We did lose a few more light ships, but we are going to sink these. Well, not quite all of it, but we did capture 9 light ships back. So that's not too bad. And a 1 heavy ship. And I guess... No, we didn't capture a galley. We captured 5 more light transports as well, sorry. Also go and do a bit of raid in here. So we'll go ahead and just park these back into Strait of Johor. We'll go ahead and then repair the damaged ships, which we can then maybe even start upgrading some of them. But yeah, the Spanish might have a large army, but they can't get their troops in here, then it doesn't really matter that much. Which the AI clearly hasn't learned their lesson yet. Let's have a look at the war enemies. So, they got nearly 240,000 men, plus their colonies have quite a bit as well. So, fighting like nearly 400,000 men or something like that. On paper, I suppose we can put the war allies as well, so we can see our vassals there. But at the same time, I suppose the navies are the main thing, and we got more than pretty much all the rest of the countries combined at this point. Now, admittedly, a decent chunk of that is transport. We've got more transports than we actually need, quite frankly, but that's alright. Yeah, we're about to enter the Strait of Johor. We can, technically speaking, repair in place, but I think we'll just go ahead and repair the damaged ships. So we'll still leave most of the ships in here. We can go ahead and... First of all, we don't really need the transports. We're going to get rid of those. We'll get some of the sailors back. And then these ships will go ahead and upgrade at least a couple of them. Mostly the... I guess the... Oh, one of the frigates? Or was it more than... Yeah. It was the galleys and then one of the frigates needed upgrade. Separate the frigates already... Oh, so the Spanish are actually going into the Philippines with that fleet. Oh. Actually, if they go to Tondo, that'd be perfect. They go to Manila base, so they might well be. I think they went to Manila. There we go, that's another province conquered over here. Let's get to the island, or the next island. And then... Oh, right. War against the world. Newfoundland. Hey, government reform. Right, so for this one, I'm not entirely sure which one we're going to take. So we've got the advisor cost minus 5%, which would actually be quite handy for us. And plus 1 possible advisors would be getting some better choices there. Minimum autonomy in territories would be handy, but that would also increase the governing costs, which we're kind of struggling with right now. Extended suffrage would give us a free diplo policy, which could be handy. Or the Pirate Council, that would give us the Parliament. No, we do have a global naval engagement modifier right now available, so perhaps we'll go with that first. The free naval, or the free diplo policy, sorry, not naval policy. Yeah. Free diplo policy for the time being. Once we get some other policies available, then we might switch that. But yeah, we can get the plus 20% global naval engagement, which means that we can have more ships in combat at the same time. So that's quite useful, actually. And the fleets over here should be repairing fairly quickly. At least the galleys that we got. I mean, it's going to take a little while to repair them fully, but that's going to be slightly better for the next combat. And I suppose as soon as we can, we'll... Oh, there we go. There's Tondo. So let's go ahead and start sieging down to the north. We'll also siege down Manila. And that's going to push out the fleet. We've got the heavy fleet sitting outside here. We could potentially... No, we're going to take the light ship, or the transport ships out of there. But is this the... Right, these were blocking the path there. Yeah, we'll get these out of the way so we don't accidentally lose any of the transports. Not that it's necessarily that bad, but we don't need them in the combat. There we go, that's another island siege down. I think we can probably get in here. We've got the numbers advantage. They might have slightly better troops. They got Miltech 21, we got 20, so that, yeah, they got better infantry shock and military tactics. But if we're defending, I think we'll still be mostly fine. We can always bring some more troops. Oh dear, we just lost the Admiral over here. Alright, well, the leader's going to take over then. Oh, and there's another fleet. Another 37 ships. That's 15 heavies, 21... Oh, so this is the one that we fought earlier, I think. So the one that we fought in here was a different fleet. Or, or maybe it was just a similar size. I don't know. Ooh, we are under attack. We might lose this. We'll actually see. I'm kind of interested to see how well we'll manage. We got the... Well, they got the -1. They got, of course, the better morale, better discipline. And, well, we got slight numbers advantage. Won the siege of Manila. Go and get there. Further north up there while we hopefully win this battle. It's gonna be a close one. They got a better leader. And our front line is collapsing. But so is there. Oh, there we go. We capture another light... 5 light ships and 2 transports. I don't think we need those 2 transports, though. There we go. So let's go and separate the light ships. We'll get these back into Brunei. And the transports will just get into, I don't know, Cebu, and we'll disband them there. There we go. We can then probably just take the heavy fleet out of here. And bring that in with the rest of the stuff. Or we could just assign this to hunt enemy fleets in South China Sea. Whatever we can find. Oh, right. So we did lose that battle. It wasn't without losses for the enemy either, but we didn't quite manage to defeat them. But once we get the other armies from the north to join, that should be fine. Are we privateering already again? No, we are not. I suppose we can get a few of the light ships down that way soon enough. Well, these are still mostly repairing, so we'll give them a bit more time. And these are also going to be repairing, so we'll get, I don't know, at least up to 30 ships hopefully back in Zanzibar, because that was a good amount of money that we're getting from there, and right now we're not getting any of that. Is there any more raiding that we could do? A tiny bit, but it's not really necessarily worth it. I mean, actually, that might be worth it. The transport fleet up there. But that's also going to give us some money from Taiwan. Or Formosa. There we go, 46 ducats. Well, 42 actually, but still better than nothing. We can get these back to... actually, let's get these to Manila so we can transport the Marines around. That's another province down. And let's also just... That's the bigger transport fleet. Kind of need to have some ships in here, to be fair. So we'll just go ahead and march this down manually for the time being. Let the Marines rest for a little while. Before we then send in 40,000 men over here. That should be enough to hold back the Spanish, even with their higher quality. Oh, good economic idea. That would start reducing the inflation automatically, which right now is at 0. But I think what we shall do is we'll actually save the points to get the governing capacity plus 250, because that would get us back into the good side of things, on the positive side of things. Also go ahead and disband those 2 ships, because we are probably over our force limits. Yeah, we are, by about 9 ships, which is not a huge amount, but it does, well, it does have a bit of cost in there. Let's get these ships to join in with the fleet. They'll repair the rest of it while sitting there. And this light fleet will go ahead and send in to Hull, Hawaii. Quickly, and then, where's the... Right, here's this small enemy fleet still remaining. That shouldn't be a problem. We've got the galleys sitting down here. Oh, that reminds me. Solomon Islands. I did not do the landing there, did I? Let's get that underway. And I see that we've actually gotten a bit distracted during this episode, because we are way over time for this one. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check out the links down in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.